Welcome back to the Trenton Area Soup Kitchen Adult Education and Word Preparedness Program Digital Literacy course. This is part 5 of our 8-part series. Today's objective is to review the Internet terminology, safe Internet practices, social media etiquette, and helpful online learning tool links. Now let's start up your computer and log on. If you have a login screen, you will first enter your username and password, and that will open up your desktop. Now, terminology review. The Internet, it's a global network of computers and electronic devices, and this allows you to access the Internet instantly to people and information worldwide. Now, a web browser is a program that allows you to view websites and navigate between them using hyperlinks. Also used to access web-based applications like Yahoo Mail and to store and access document using services like Google Drive. Now, below you can see the 4 most popular browsers: Internet Explorer, Firefox, Google Chrome, and Safari. So now that you have a browser, you also need to have a Wi-Fi connection. So in order to connect to the Internet, you need to go down to your system tray on the lower right-hand side of your computer screen, and you will see your Wi-Fi bars. Now it's highlighted in the red square outline, and this means that you are connected to the Internet, those bars. Now, if you're not connected, you might see that world icon that is on the screen. And what you would need to do to connect to your wireless network, you have to go down to that icon, you would click on it, and there would show a list of different networks that you can connect to. You would choose the network that you want and select Connect. You would type in your password or security key and then hit Enter. After you've hit Enter, follow the instructions if there are any that come up. Now that you've connected to your Internet, you have a couple options for your browser. On your desktop, you can see an icon for Chrome, and you can also see that same browser in your taskbar. You can also see Internet Explorer and Firefox. You would select whichever browser you would want to use. And then you'd be typing in the website address. Now, the website address tells the computer the correct combination of letters, numbers, and characters to reach a particular website. So you would enter the website address, as you see the example TrentonSoupKitchen.org, into the address bar, and then hit the Enter key to connect to that website. Now here we have an example of a web browser window. This is the T.A.S.K AEWP Digital Literacy channel on YouTube. Now in the previous class, we reviewed this page, and it goes over the different parts of the web browser. For number 1, it shows the tabs. Now the tabs show a website window that you're looking at, and you could open up another tab, type in a different website address, and you would view that particular website. For number 2, you have the backwards and forwards button. Now, when you've typed in a web address and you're looking at that particular website, you could always go ahead and type in a different website address. Once you've arrived at that address or that new website, you can click the back button and it will take you to the previous website you were viewing. And if you hit the forward button, it would take you to the website that you were looking at. Now the refresh button can refresh the page, and it comes in handy especially if that website gets frozen. For number 4, you have the website address bar and the website address, which you would type in that address bar, such as TrentonAreaSoupKitchen.org. And number 5 is the search box. Now, most websites have a search box, so it's helpful to be able to find their products and information. And then number 6 is the maximize, minimize, and close buttons, so that you can expand or open up that tab or window, or you can minimize that window or close that window. And lastly, number 7 is the scroll bar that allows you to move up and down the page. Now let's review some vocabulary words. Here we have website. It's a collection of web pages that provide information about a business, group, organization, or a person. The example is the TrentonSoupKitchen.org, which is an organization. You have a web page, which is an electronic document with text, images, and other links that is accessed by clicking on a hyperlink. And then the home page, the first page that you see when you are viewing a website, and the tabs which we just went over, which you use to open up a new web page. Here we have the maximize and minimize close button. Now the dash is the minimize, the square is the maximize, and the X you would use to close that window. And below you have the scroll bar, which allows you to move up and down a page. And then here are examples of browser buttons. Now to review, when you see an arrow or a pointer, you can move that across that web page. Once you move it over a hyperlink or a link, it will turn into a hand. That lets you know that that is a link and will take you to another web page. Internet safety. Now, being online is great, but you have to be safe while you're online. So making sure that your computer has an antivirus software is a must. Another thing is to update your programs and software applications. Most companies have updated versions of their software to fix any bugs, so make sure that you click that button. And then be cautious of personal information that you're entering on various websites, especially if you're shopping or you're adding, let's say, a social security number. Make sure that website has HTTPS and you see a lock icon. And then lastly, make sure that you're using really good passwords. Try not to use the same passwords on multiple websites, and then also use at least 7 characters. And mix it up. Use uppercase, lowercase letters, numbers, and symbol. Now, for example, you have that Jello's Too Yummy with an exclamation point. That's a really good password. And also using phrases because it's easier to remember. That would be my suggestion. Social media etiquette. Social media etiquette. This refers to both the spoken and unspoken set of social rules of personal and business behavior online. It dictates how people conduct themselves on social media so they remain respectful and respectable. Now, here are some popular platforms like Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. Now, social media accounts, you can create an account on one of these platforms above. Here you can share information, ideas, and interests in these virtual communities. Social media etiquette. This refers to both the spoken and unspoken set of social rules for personal and business behavior online. It dictates how people can conduct themselves on social media so they remain respectful and respectable. Now, here are a few things to consider. Share carefully, post regularly, interact with your audience or friends, and don't come across being needy or a complainer. Bragging. Don't do it. Modest bragging is fine, but outright bragging, complaining, and playing devil's advocate will create friction and negative experience for you online. And then oversharing. Have you ever shared too much and then end up regretting what you said? That rule still applies to social media. And tagging. If you're going to tag a photo of someone, reach out and find out if they mind you tagging them with that photo. There's nothing worse than tagging someone and they turn around and reach out to you and tell you, take it off. Spamming? Don't do it. Don't spam. No one wants their social media feed to be filled with posts from anyone. Don't post promotional content in places where it's not allowed. No one likes that either. And responding to criticism. When issues arise on social media, respond gracefully. But think before you type and post your response. It's best not to overreact to criticism. Just think about it first. Facebook is about sharing images, stories, and connecting with people, friends, family. You can keep your account private or make it public so anyone can find you and comment to your posts. Facebook contacts, friends, family, may know you in real life or just on the platform. Manage your Facebook privacy settings. It's helpful in regards to maintaining your privacy and getting updates. Remember, don't ask friends to like your page every week. People will find it annoying. The platform is used for personal and business connections, but it is best to create an account for each. It's okay to tell your followers on your personal account about a business page, but make sure to be appropriate when doing so. Now, here are a few things to remember. Accept requests from people you know. Acknowledge others' posts and comments. Research stories before sharing them. Ask for permission before you tag someone. Always reveal big news to friends and family first. Never post photos of someone else's children. Never like bad news. Post an appropriate response instead. Online tools. Now here are some resources that are free and they are awesome. Now, Grow with Google on Air, that has a plethora of classes that you can take or courses you can take. The same with all of the other ones listed, Harvard University, Oxford Podcast, and Coursera. And then there's another link that gives you a list of multiple universities that you can go to their website, you can create an account, and have access to all types of courses. Just find your interests and get started. So now shutting down your computer at this point, I think that most of you already know how to do this, but we're going to review. So when you're shutting down your computer, you would click the Windows icon, which will bring up the power button. From there, you would click Shut Down. Congratulations, you have successfully completed the Introduction to Internet Basics Part 2. Now remember to practice what you've learned. Use the packets and study, study, study. This concludes the presentation. If you have questions or comments, please let me know. We're always interested in making changes so that this will be a greater experience for you and also improve our content. Thank you for coming. Next week, Part 6, Introduction to Email.